And ma'am, talking about mains examination again, you earlier told us that the approach that they have towards the approach towards each subject for this examination is different. It is not like regular academics. So when an aspirant is preparing for mains examination, with what approach they're supposed to answer the questions?
See, first thing that they have to understand is the syllabus, the question that is asked, syllabus, and you have to, for every topic, you have to have a very holistic approach. For example, if you have an event, you have to understand why this incident is happening. You have protests in America right now. What is the incident? What is the background? What is the racial problem that they have? What were the safeguards that American Constitution has provided towards this racial problem? Today, what happened? What will be the implications of this on the country in future, on the upcoming presidential elections? So, this is how you have to look at a problem, a very holistic approach. And at that same time, in this holistic approach, you have to minimize your words. You cannot elaborate and write a lengthy story, because in mains, you have to answer, say, about 15 to 18 questions in a span of 180 minutes. So barely 9 or 10 minutes per question, and you have to complete it in 250 words, otherwise you'll not finish the paper. If you don't finish the paper, you will not get marks, because no matter how well you write your answer, the ultimate mark that you're going to get is 6 out of 10. They will not give you beyond that. So the logic here is you have to complete the entire paper to be sure that you'll crack your mains, you'll clear your mains. Therefore, this kind of preparation is required. And when you're presenting also, see, they ask you for your opinion. It does not mean that your opinion is based on your rigid beliefs. You should never get your affiliations to anything into the exam. A civil servant is expected to be very balanced. Imagine a collector getting onto the podium, onto the stage, and talking about caste, religion, or region. You will not like it, because he's collector and you expect him to be neutral. Likewise, when you are an aspirant, as an examiner, I expect you to take a neutral stand. I don't expect you to support somebody blindly. So, when you're writing something, there should be a rationale behind it, and there should be a source that supports your viewpoint. Quote a committee. For example, we say that there should not be any regulation, an external regulation on the press. When I'm writing this, I will quote the Levison report. The Levison committee had actually told that it was appointed in UK. So I'll say that as quoted by or as concluded by the Levison committee, press should self-regulate and should not be regulated by an external source. Like this, if you are able to write, you will score more marks. And when you're asked to critically analyze something, you should not be critically analyzing it and giving a very negative picture. No matter how negative something is, you will find something positive in it. Start with the positive aspect of it and then write about how it can be improved. This is good, but this can be better. Don't say this is terrible, this is worse, this is, because that exposes a very pessimistic attitude in you. And that is not what we want from our bureaucrats. So, you should have constructive criticism, you should have a positive way of looking at things. If you see a bureaucrat talk in news or in the press to the press, you will never find him getting too emotional. There will be no far-fetched statements. They are very, very diplomatic. They are very cut out. That kind of analysis is required for the exam.
Which means we should not be carried away by our own ideologies or our own views.
Definitely not. It should be more about a balanced approach. You have to have a holistic approach. You have to look at all the sides before you draw a conclusion.